Hi, this is Avar from Scrappy Mania, and I just finished my sister one. Now this is the third one of this type. I made one prototype, the first prototype, which was this one. So this was my first one, and I do have a video. These are perfect for actually your art journals. So I'll show you, I have a video where I used this in an art journal, and it works perfect for that, and you'll see that. But it's, you know, it's flimsy. It doesn't stamp very well because look at that. It creates double stamping because it's just not rigid. We need a rigid surface in order to have that perfect print. Then this is the second one that I created. And everything worked fine except for my grids are offline. So, and then because my grids were offline, a couple of my viewers gave me advice. One was using etching, might work. Another gave me, there was some different advice to how to get it straighter. So then what I did, I took the advice of one viewer, and actually I laid it down on my grid. I forgot all about it. I do have a grid down here, so I laid it perfectly, my straight edge on this grid here, and then I used the markings here to align it. So look how perfect that came out. That's for my sister. So now I want to try it out. So I have 3 thickness of foam. I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this. And let me test it out. And you know, I may want to take this out. That way, put it down here. So the acrylic is flexible enough that you can push it down. It's better than my glass because I created a glass one, and then this one is not flexible at all. So if you want to have a good impression, you gotta like build it up. So your build up has to be higher than the glass, so that way you get a nice imprint. So I don't recommend that you do it of glass, but acrylic is a lot better because it has that flexibility. You don't want to make it out of the plastic that I use, except if you're making a small one. I did create a smaller version, not the 12 by 12. That plastic works perfect if you're doing a smaller version of this. But as you enlarge the size of your stamping tool, then you can't. It doesn't have room for any give. So the smaller it is, you have a little bit of play with some give on your lid, so to get that perfect impression. But as you go further out, or larger, as you go larger, you can afford any give. And so acrylic is perfect because it has a combination of the correct amount of give. See how you can bend a little bit, but not too much that it doesn't make a good imprint. And then look at that. Let me show you. Look at that beautiful imprint. Do you see there? Beautiful. And then you can, of course, you can buy grid paper and put grid here in case you want to stamp off the side. I would recommend that you have a grid paper underneath if you like. I have 3 thickness of foam. I'm going to remove 1 thickness of foam. And then that brings it down just a tiny bit. And then I'm using this new stamp that I just acquired from Tuesday Morning. Oops. Okay, and it's a Stapendous stamp. And it's by Fran. And they only got it for $1.49. It's like a good price. I'm having it, in my mind, I'm thinking what I'm going to create is an underwater scene with this. I bought another one, and then I have the mermaid from Judy Nutting. I think it's going to look very nice. So that will be one of my tutorials. Now notice that it's a little high. That's good. You can even do it with one. If I only want one fullness, I can. You can use only one. I think, yep, it works with just one. So either 2 or 1. That will work fine. Let's go ahead and stamp 1 time. And see, it needs a little more. We can go ahead and stamp again. So you only need 1 thickness of foam. And you probably don't even need the foam, to be honest. You can probably just use the bottom part. And actually, let me do it one more time. Oops. Hopefully I took the magnets out, so I think I'll be okay. And there, perfect adhesion. So let me go ahead and take this out because I don't want to mess up hers. This is for my sister, so I definitely don't want to mess it up for her. I just wanted to test it out. And unfortunately, I only have leftover white. And I think I need to trim this just a tad. I'll trim this off just a tad. I only have white foam. And I do have other colors, but I wanted to make it real nice for her. So I went ahead and painted. Look how beautiful that looks. It's nicely painted. Once it was drying, I went ahead and put the tape. It was still wet with the paint, and I adhered the tape, so that's real nice. The other thing I did for her, instead of foam, I had some cork board, and I went ahead and put some cork on it, and adhered it with some glue. And look how this one came out perfect, I think. It's a little heavy. It's about 3 pounds or so because it has the metal sheet and then the hinges and everything, so it does make it a little heavy. But other than that, it looks good. So I hope I gave you an idea. This is the last video that I have of making the stamping tool because I think I perfected the method. I may have another video on using, instead of, because this is all wood, so if you don't have wood, let's go ahead and create another one out of foam cord, just in case you guys want to create one with foam cord, and I'll give you all the measurements and everything, so that way you have different choices depending on the material that you have on hand and your skill set, because you may not be able to cut the wood. You definitely could cut foam, and it makes it a lot lighter, so you don't have to worry about it being too heavy. This is pretty heavy, so I need to create one for my mother-in-law. I think that's going to be less heavy than this one. But I hope you like this video. I've inspired you to create your own stamping tool if you like, especially a 12 by 12. I think this is marvelous, this size. So I hope you like it, and thank you for watching. Bye now.